Where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place, a tender warm embrace, where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live in WGPL 1350 studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page. And guess what? You can see us live right here in WGPL 1350 studio. And if you want to hear us on the World Wide Web, all you have to do is go to WPCE 1400 AM and WGPL 1350 AM, or you can go to www.christianbroadcastingcompany.com, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors, our WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
And WPCE 1495.3.
Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Now, don't forget to follow, subscribe, like, share. If you comment, we'll shout you out later on in the show.
Follow, like, share,
subscribe,
and we'll shout you out.
Absolutely. Mr. E, is Fun Friday. I hope you all are prepared for some fun. It's beautiful here in the Hampton Roads area. It's a lot going on, and I hope you plan on enjoying the weather.
That's right. There's a lot going on. And Miss Hinton, I got a jokey joke for you on Fun Friday.
Okay. All right, Mr. E, it better be good.
What did the whale do when he started swimming backwards?
I don't know. Let us know, Mr. E.
He died.
Woo! Mr. E, we're going to have to take you back to class. You know, you was doing good last year. You're going to come up on those old school jokes. But anyway, Mr. E, a beautiful Friday.
Yes.
And this is our wonderful, wonderful segment. What's in your closet? It's all about the ladies. You all had your time on Wednesday, Mr. E. And we have a wonderful guest with us this morning. We have Miss Veronica McMillan. You know, she has a new business and it's called Ms. V Speaks. I love that. It has a Z on the end. I had to put that up there. Good morning, Veronica.
Good morning, Yolanda. How are you all today?
Oh, doing really good. I hope you've been doing well. It's been a minute, but you've been on with us in the last, few months. A few months ago, you were with us, and we just want to say thank you for being on with us again. Veronica, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and then we're going to talk about some of the things that you're doing in our area.
Yeah. Wonderful. Well, thank you again for having me. I'm a native of Chesapeake, Virginia, and I've been living here all of my life. And of course, I'm the president of the Micro Nonprofit Network. And then, of course, we're launching Miss V Speaks. So thank you all so much for having me on this morning.
You know, I'm very curious about Miss V Speaks. I saw that online and I said, wow, this sounds wonderful. A part of something that you're doing for our ladies. But before we talk about that, let's talk about you and the nonprofit world, because you have really, really help nurture a lot of nonprofit organizations. Tell us about that first.
Yeah, well, the micro nonprofit network was born out of my own need of wanting to get started and really did not have someone who can really kind of take me through the ropes of what it means to be a nonprofit. And so in 2016, we started the micro nonprofit network for those people who desire, entrepreneurs who desire to start a nonprofit. And so we decided that we would help them from the inception, being able to get their articles, get their bylaws, get everything sent off, and then their 501c3, and then coming alongside of them and helping them along the way, because it is a journey in the nonprofit world.
Yes.
Most people don't know that it really takes you about 8 to 10 years to kind of get your sea legs in terms of nonprofit. And I know you know this, Yolanda, because
Yes.
you've been in it for a moment. And so our goal is a little bit different than most nonprofits. We come alongside of you and then help you to sustain and grow your business, and then just help you to connect to resources that can help you in the longevity of your business.
Absolutely. Now, I got to tell everybody, Veronica was so instrumental in me. When I first started Crystal Community Development Corporation, I didn't know anything. I know I had a vision of mentoring young people, but I met Veronica, and I'm telling you, she was so helpful. I mean, very helpful in the things that I needed, the things that I needed to do. I received my 501c3 2004. And 2006, I started the mentoring programs for young people, and it's been going on ever since. It has grown. There has not been a lot of need for anything. Everything has been supplied, Mr. E. And also, now I find myself giving back again with the foundation and the scholarship fund. I just want to say thank you to Veronica McMillan for helping me when I was way back there, just wanting to do it. So you definitely have made an impact on me, Veronica, and so many people that are in the nonprofit world. Thank you. Veronica, let's talk about Miss V Speaks. What's going on? That's something new.
Yeah. Miss V Speaks is a subsidiary, excuse me, of the micro nonprofit. A lot of individuals or people who are in the nonprofit world don't understand that you can have a for-profit arm of your nonprofit. But basically, what I wanted to do is kind of go back to my counseling days. I have a master's degree in counseling, and that's kind of how it started off in the nonprofit world for me. But in this work that I do, in the work that I do in the communities, I'm finding that there are a lot of women that are hurting.
Yes.
We have learned to mask very well. We've learned to figure out how to hide in our own lives, and it's not a good thing, because I believe we're in a state of trauma now. And so in 2014, I used to do these things called soul work groups. And soul work groups was just authentic conversations with women. And so Miss V Speaks is really authentic conversations with women with a specific audience around working with mothers and daughters, because we found that if that foundational relationship is messed up, it will color all of your relationships. It doesn't have to be a mother and daughter. It could be an authority. It could be at work. It could be your relationship with men, your relationship with other women. And so I really wanted to massage that area, because I think that there is a niche for us to come into that space and help. And so that's kind of what Miss V Speaks is. It really is authentic conversations for women, period.
Yes.
And then basically to infuse activities and infuse different things that's a little bit different than what other people are doing. It is not therapy, so I want to make that disclaimer, but it is a conversation, because what we know is that most people have something that they need to say, but they got to have a place where they feel safe to say it. And so that's that space we fit in, Yolanda.
Absolutely. Now tell us some of the issues or concerns that women have that you notice when they do speak. What do they want to address with one another, mothers and daughters?
Can you say it again, Yolanda?
What do mothers and daughters want to express? What are some of the issues and concerns?
Yeah, I think basically mothers and daughters, and see, I think what people think is like, oh, I got to bring my daughter. But most women sit in this space that I am a mother and I'm a daughter, or I'm a mother with a daughter. And they're oftentimes their relationship sometimes is strained. It needs repair. It needs basically healing, or they need to either let go or release. And there's a difference between letting go and releasing, because sometimes relationships at that point we're in, they said, you know what, it's been so long. But what we're finding is that women need to really speak their truth. Because sometimes you didn't have a mother that was really one that was that caring kind of mother, because she didn't know it was really about the grind for her, depending upon your age.
Yes.
Mental illness stole my mother from me. So her last 10 years of her life, I was her caregiver.
Wow.
And so the times that I wanted to, Mama, let's just go eat. Let's just go out. Can you tell me how it was when you were young, and what was it like for your relationships with men and all of that stuff? I lost because mental illness stole her. So here I am, a mother, basically, but also a daughter, wanting to have that conversation with her mother. And so there are many women basically who they just don't have a mother figure, or either their their mother passed on, and there was that, craziness in the relationship, and mom passed away, and you're carrying guilt and bitterness because you say, man, I wish I had told her. Or some of us are in that place where we're saying, God, if I just had my mother again, things would be different. And so we want to get into that space where women are really telling their truth, being able to be authentic about what it is that's going on, and say, it's okay. It's okay to be a mother and say, God, parenting these kids is not a good thing for me right now, but, excuse me, I have that opportunity to work it out, because if you don't, your children will catch your values rather than those values being taught to them. And so you want to make sure that if your daughter is looking at you, what is she seeing when she sees you? Because she's seeing something. And so we really want women to really tell their truth. And so what we'll do is we'll give them topics, and they will choose the topic of discussion. And so we'll go from there. So there are many, many areas that women really want to talk about. And then that's what we want to do. We want to fill that space, but not just talk. Engage them in activities that they then can come away like, yes, that's what I was feeling. And then also, if a woman really needs to go beyond that conversation, to have therapists where they can go and talk to beyond our conversation. And that's a little bit different than what others are doing. We're saying, hey, I know this conversation is great for you, but we also know that you got to unpack it a little bit more. And here are some therapists that are vetted so that you can go head on and get free in what you're feeling. So that's kind of what Ms. B speaks and where we're trying to go with this, Yolanda.
Yes.
Well, how did you come up with the name Miss V Speaks Z?
The Z. I love
that Z on the end.
Yes. Oh, that was just a play on the word, because most people, when they talk about speaking, you see just to speak. And so I just said, put that Z on the end. It's just to be a little bit different, but really is me speaking into the lives of women and then speaking back, because this is really about a soul work journey. Excuse me. It really is about coming to that place of healing. And it really is about stepping into your bigness and into your power, and understanding that it is okay as a woman to feel the feelings that you have, but you cannot get stuck in them. And so that is what, that's the deep dive that we take in our conversations. And so I'm just excited, Yolanda, because again, this was in 2014 when it was launched. And so we're taking a different spin on it now, but that's kind of where we are right now.
Absolutely. I feel that it is a real need for it. I can think about my mother and my grandmother, and even though they were there, they were in the household, they were very secretive in that generation. And you had just mentioned about telling about relationships and how you went through certain things. Certain things weren't spoke of and certain things you did not know about, what your mom or grandmother had gone through. Now, this generation is different. Even though they can probably relate more with their daughters, they maybe hang out in some of the same places, but these women of this generation are more on the move. And so your mom may not necessarily be there a lot because she's so busy on the grind or she's trying to get her thing going. Women now are able to really, really be out there and do whatever they want to do in life and accomplish all. And so, I thank you so much for this because it does have to still be a balance, and women have to be able to express and to learn from one another. Do you find women are a little bit afraid of one another?
In some instances, it is, and if I could just speak a moment to this generation of women, yeah, have the freedom that our mothers did not have. However, there's so much coming at them that it's really easy to be fake because we have social media, we have TV, we
Yes.
have all of this stuff where you're supposed to look. Imagery is so important. And what I'm finding is that young women still need a woman. Some women still need mothering because sometimes you can say to a woman, "I love you," but what you're doing is not that's not a cool thing to do. And we need to kind of talk about that because you still need the wisdom of your elders. And I think
Yes.
this generation, while they are the freedom, the liberty, and the things that they're doing, they still need that, hey, let me help you navigate through life if your mom isn't there, and that you are beautiful and great and powerful just the way that you are. You don't need fake hips, you don't need fake breasts,
Yes.
you don't need any of that stuff.
Mhm.
But society is saying that's what makes you beautiful. And I'm saying you came beautiful. And so I think young women need to hear that. And so yeah, Yolanda, it's just a whole bunch. I mean, I can sit here
Yes.
all day long and talk to
Yes.
you about it.
Absolutely.
Veronica, have we gotten away from encouraging one another, encouraging, listening to each daughter or each mother or each girlfriend? Have we got away from doing all of that, talking, or just like the men go and talk in the barber shop and relieve themselves on that area? But have we got away from talking to women, and now they say it's gossip, they gossiping and not talking?
We've gotten away from being vulnerable. We've gotten
Wow.
away from, excuse me, we've gotten away from being able to have a safe space, and that we've gotten away from being truthful and honest. And we're in a generation. Yolanda asked the question, how kind of are we trusting each other? Are we doing that? And I would say no, that we're not really doing that because we haven't
Yes.
found that safe space.
Mm.
And I think until we do, we're going to have that, so that you can get in an environment where authentic encouragement is there. Because
Mm.
Absolutely.
again, if you're in an environment one time where somebody takes your stuff outside of that group, it shuts you down for years. And
That's
many of
right.
us
Yes.
are
That's
still
right.
carrying the burden of, what happened to us 20 years ago.
Yes.
And we gotta be able to unpack. And so what I think is happening is that we don't have a safe space to be vulnerable
Yes.
anymore because everybody is betting and trying to get to that place. I remember I was having a conversation and the young lady said, "We still have that crab in the basket
Yes.
mentality." And I said, "I think what we have to do is we have to switch that," because I heard a young man say, and I thought it was profound. He said it wasn't that we were crabs in the basket. He said that the temperature in the water got so
Mm.
hot that
Wow.
we all have
Oh,
to move.
wow.
And I think this is where we are now. The temperature is getting so hot that we all have to move, and we have to move. We have to be in a place where people are vulnerable enough to disrobe.
Yes. Veronica, are you all using books or book club to as a part of your discussion for the
Yeah,
program?
yeah.
Yes.
We're creating a journal right now, Yolanda. So I'm so glad that you said that because we really want to be able, to help them to unpack. And we want the journal to be a little bit different. I've started on Facebook doing these things called Daily Dose, and Daily Dose is your dose of love because,
Wow.
excuse me, we still have to come from a place of love. And again, I think because of the way that we are in our society, we don't know what real love looks like.
Say
Because the
it.
love we've had is really somebody wanted something from us. How do I love a person? And when I tell my spiritual daughters all the time, I love you and I don't want anything from you. I
Wow.
don't want your money. I don't want your influence. I don't want your business cards. I don't want your contact. I don't want anything from you. I'm here to help you win. And when you truly give in love, true giving means you're not expecting anything in return. You're not expecting a return. You're not expecting a shout out. You're not expecting an investment. You're not expecting anything. And I think we are missing that. And
Wow.
so I'm going old school back and saying, hey, let me love you because way back in the day, community was the whole community supported you.
Yes.
And that wasn't a thing. We just know you got the collard greens, I got the bread, this, that, and the other, and we're gonna take care of each other. If you needed your rent paid, we threw a rent party and nobody
Yes.
talked about it. This day they're throwing shade. They're talking
Yes.
about how you look. They're doing all and not just young women, older women are doing this as well. And
Absolutely.
we gotta figure this thing out. And so I believe it's just time for this to come to fruition and be able to have this space. We call it specifically, excuse me, for mothers and daughters, but it's for any woman 18 or older who's
Yeah.
willing to allow us to come in and help her to do the work.
Do you feel that women, when you communicating with women or sitting down, talking to women, do they feel intimidated because now you talking about their personal and they get into their business? Do they feel intimidated when you have this open discussion or discussion to help them to rise above?
I think women, because with us, women are choosing their conversation.
Okay.
So they're choosing their topic and they're calling
Oh.
us in. So they're saying that I have a need and I am being able to open myself up and say, this is what I want to do. And see, if that is the case, then we got to unlearn some stuff. If you're feeling intimidated, why is that? And so that means that there's some work that needs to be done. And again, I remember this in 2014 when we did this. I had a pastor to say to me, hey, the women in my church, I've taken them as far as I can go with them,
Wow.
and they need a little bit more. And she said, if we could get 25 women from our church there. I started out with 25, and they had petitions in the room. Then they moved the petition because 30 women showed up.
Wow.
Then they moved the petition again because 40 women showed up. They moved it to the position wherein there was no petition, and 45 women from her church showed up that day. They did not care. And I think
Yes.
we're in a place where there's so much trauma in the earth, where people are saying, it is getting hot in here and I'm gonna have to get up out of here. So they're willing to do whatever they need to do to get out of that situation. Because when you're in deep pain,
Mm.
that you know that if you don't do something, you're going to end
Yes.
whatever, and it doesn't have to be a physical ending, but literally an ending where your mind is gone, your soul is gone. You'll start to seek help. We all saw or heard that young lady, I can't think of her name right now, go to the top of the building, jump
Yes.
off the building. This woman was at the height of her career, but no one heard her screaming. She had to pretend to look good, to pretend to be okay, to pretend to be what she was not. And no one saw her.
Absolutely. That is so true. I wanted to
Okay.
address the pandemic and mental illness is kind of going hand in hand. More people are spazzing out, or they have come to a place where they just can't cope. Uh, Talk about mental illness and the fact that a lot of people are suffering from it.
Oh, no doubt. And we've seen, and have you ever seen so much mental illness in the
Mm,
earth?
mm, mm.
Because of the fact that we're living in a state of trauma and people are carrying on the inside all of the stuff. I put on in my daily dose about that I'm hearing you scream and that you have no one to really say, I am hurting. And why is that? Why have we gotten to the place where we can't say, I need help?
Yes.
We got to have people in positions. We don't know what genuine kindness and love looks like. I was talking to my husband about it, and he said, "Love is attractive." I said, "You know what? That's what this is. We're attractive because we are about the love, and that basically all that I can do is show you love, and I can do that well because I understand what it means to live with a mother with mental illness. I
Yeah.
understand what it means to live with a husband with PTSD, to be a Vietnam War veteran and all of the stuff that he saw, and then got to do my daily routine myself. And how do you stay sane in that? You stay sane
Yes.
in that by saying, I'm hurting. And having someone to be able to say, girl, let me tell you something. I don't care how it comes out. I don't care if it's a cuss word. I don't care what it is. Let me unpack this stuff
Wow.
so that I can be okay. And until we get to that, we're going to continue. Look at the number of therapists that we have because your therapist is important. If you choose the wrong therapist who's a part of that healing process, she or he could back you up 15 years
Absolutely.
and you will know, okay, I won't do that again because we've said that I'll never let anybody do that, say that, or what have you, because we're operating from a place where we don't have true, genuine love, where I care about you. I want you to succeed. I want you to get past
Yes.
that hurt and pain. And then you have to understand that it's a process. I hear the younger man start saying healing could be 10 years. And do we have the time?
Wow.
Can we put that time in that? And so that means that you have to allow yourself to gently go through the process, which means you're gonna have days where you fall down, days where you get up. I've gone to bed, and I know you all have done the same thing. I've gone to bed happy and gotten up before my feet could hit the ground. I'm in this place of this is not the day nobody gonna be doing no stupid stuff because I'm not
Yes.
feeling it. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean?
Yes.
We all have been there. And so if you
Absolutely.
do that, why can't someone else do that? And so I just want them to know that we are here and it's a bit different because my goal is to have not just the activities that we do, but the scenery around it and including activities. So we may be on the beach, we may be at an art studio, we may be at a
Wow.
yoga studio for these conversations. We may be in somebody's home with four girlfriends, someone's church. We can go wherever that you need us to go and you will choose your conversation because I have about 25 different conversations that they
Wow.
can talk about. And if that's not one, then we'll talk about what you want to talk about and go from there.
Yes. We need to know who's working with you, and then we need to know how ladies can get involved.
Yeah, basically we have three therapists that's working with us. And then of course we have our creative side of it where we're creating the activities for women. And then basically, of course, myself with that counseling background and then that love for women. I believe I was born for this. There are
Wow.
some people who come to this earth that are natural born counselors, that are natural born intuitives, that's connected with God enough to know that you can't do this without God either. And I tell people all the time, we're not pushing any religion, but I so believe in that spiritual component of all of this that we gotta hear from God in this process because some work is spiritual work. You mad at God and you won't say it,
Yes.
but that's your issue. You mad because that happened to you and this happened to you as a little girl, and so you still mad, and so that
Wow.
means nothing outside in the natural world is going to heal that. That's a spiritual thing that has to happen. So, how
Mhm.
people can reach me is that they can certainly email me at let's talk Veronica at gmail.com. That's LETS talk Veronica at gmail.com, or they can call me at 757-572-0974. And we're just going to work this thing out. We're just going to
Yes.
work it out
Absolutely.
until we see that the healing comes.
Well, we want to thank you so much for being on. If Francine, she's on, good morning, Francine. If she would put that information down there for our viewers, that would be absolutely wonderful. Miss Veronica, thank you so much for what you do. This is not just a program, it is definitely a wonderful, wonderful mission and a movement. And we just wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Yolanda, for you all having me on. I appreciate you all so much. Have a blessed weekend, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye now.
Bye. God bless you all. Come on over here to our social media feed, and we're going to talk a little bit more. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you back here on Monday.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. Our special guest has been none other than Miss Veronica Macmillan with V Speaks. Miss V Speaks. And for more information, you can give us a call here at 757-714-7861 or inbox us at Ed Whatever Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton Facebook page, and FYI Facebook page. And don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on 93.5 FM at 95.3 FM, WBCE 1400, WGPL 1350, and soon to be Joy 88.9. Have a wonderful day now. Bye
now. Wow. Thank you, Miss Veronica McMillan, for being on FYI Radio Show. Francine Humphrey has given the information down. You all need to get involved. This is definitely a movement. Women need to speak. They need to be able to lift their voice. They need to be able to express what they've felt in life, what they've been going through, and make sure they speak the truth so they can help others. That's where it's at. Helping others. When you speak and when you tell your testimony or what you've gone through, somebody is listening. Somebody say, "Oh my goodness, I didn't know anybody else was suffering like that, or going through that, or experiencing that." And it has helped me to understand that, hey, we're all in this together and we all can help one another. It's wonderful.
One of the questions, Ms. Hinton, that I want to ask Ms. Macmillan is that is this a rollover from a generational curse? Sometimes back in the days, the women had to bear so much, they had to hold so much in them, and they couldn't really talk to anybody about it because what goes on in my house stays in my house.
Wow.
And they did not want to share this information with anybody. So now, do you think that folks are still harboring and still holding on to some of the generational stuff that they had back in the days of old?
Yeah, I think so too. I think, like I was saying earlier, our mothers, our grandmother was like, "Hey, shh,
that's
we
right.
can't tell you. We don't tell business,
That's
especially
right.
we don't let people know what's going on, our pain and our hurt. We just carry it and we suffer in silence." And so, you get to a point where suffering in silence is not going to do it, because guess what? Stuff like the pandemic and other things that are going on is going to bring up
That's right.
these pains and these things that people are suffering. We mentioned mental illness, and Veronica was talking about dealing with the mother with mental illness. And I'm saying, those things you cannot keep in the closet, because you got to seek help in some kind of way in order to be able to survive and to live. Can you imagine dealing with someone suffering from mental illness and you bottle up, you won't tell anybody, it's a secret, you won't let nobody in your house, you won't go anywhere. And so that's going to be a strain on your mental abilities as well. And so you've got to be able to communicate to people and say, "Look, this is what I'm going through. This is hard." Either we talked about the other day, Mr. E, caregivers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Caregivers, wherein it gets so hard and so rough for people to be able to manage something. And if they're suddenly thrown into being a caregiver, it really works on the mind as well. And so I think, like you said, women are going to have to be able to now speak, be more vocal, talk about the pain. It may be all about a smile, but you can tell people that, hey, it's about being happy, but I'm also a human and I'm also hurting, and I need somebody to know that I need help.
Miss Hinton, the more we talk about this and we dealing with the mental illness, mental health issues, we find that when folks are bottled up, when folks hold so
Mm,
much in them, it causes them other areas in their bodies to be affected, to
yes.
get sick, high blood pressure, because you're not releasing the pain,
Yes.
diabetes, strokes, and things of that
Absolutely.
nature, because we're so busy. And I think that this is one of the greatest things in America where folks can dialogue together,
I love it.
where you can
Absolutely.
find somebody that you can dialogue with, a group that you can go and talk to, then you can come back and be able to deal with the problem, deal with the situation. Now you got an open mind of what's going on. Maybe it's not, maybe it could be something else. Maybe it is you from that
Mm,
stuff that stemmed from back in
yes.
the days of old from your family. A lot of folks don't understand that we can carry on family generational curses,
Mhm.
things that mama had to endure. She kept quiet. She endured it. And is it true that what the old folks had to endure back in the day, do we have to endure it now? Do we have to harbor in stuff when we have been freed, where we can speak? Do we have to maintain and keep silence now when we ought to be able to voice our opinion?
I want to say good morning to Modell Lewis. She said, good morning, my friends. Again, Francine Humphrey. Annie. Oh, my goodness, Miss Annie Izzard is here. Jewel Corporal, good morning. Sheila Robbins. Roberta Gibson. Roberta Gibson, that's her maiden name. Roberta Carter. Good morning, everybody. And again, we want to thank Veronica McMillan for being on. This is a serious matter,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it is really a time for healing. We have gone through the pandemic, something that we've never experienced. We're dealing with more crime, with more murders, more drama, social media. COVID. Oh my God! Not just a pandemic where we're shut down, but just the things that can enter in the body and just break the body down. It's just so much going on. There's also the other side where there's a lot of good things going on. But I think, just like Veronica saying, stopping right now and being able to communicate with one another to heal,
That's right.
to
That's right.
heal some of the things that have gone on, so we can rise above and go into our success, rise above and contribute those things that God has put in us for others. We need to heal because we can help somebody else once we're healed. And it's a whole bunch of folk that need to be healed, honey.
Not only that, Miss Hinton, we can also help our families. We can help
Mm-hmm.
families to rise above. We can help your sons, your daughters, your husband in the home because we got all the great information, because we really checked ourselves out to
Yes.
find out what it is that I'm harboring, what it is that I'm guilty of. Where is the pain? What is hurting me that I got this phobic that now I don't want to talk about it? Where am I? Where is the problem? One thing Miss McMillan said that was so true: we cannot eliminate God in the equation.
Ooh,
We cannot let
yes.
God out of our sight, because even though you might not think it's a religious thing or need religion, but guess what? You still
Mm,
have to have God in the equation. You
absolutely.
still need to be able to have a little talk with Jesus and tell him all about your troubles, because he can help you along the way, help you to be
Yes.
able to direct you to the right people that you can share this great information with.
Yeah, and it's going to be all right because God has put people in the lives of many to be able to bring healing. The church is there. We have counselors there. We have programs like Miss McMillan has in order to bring about healing,
That's right.
and bring about a better way of life. And so that's a great thing. Mr. E, we're going to go ahead and do our upcoming shows because we're going to be serving a little bit of tea today. Just a little bit of tea.
I want to let everybody know that we got some great shows coming up for you today, this week, this coming week, and into July. We got Coach for Sports Talk. We got Coach
Yes.
Sporty will be our special guest. Oh, what a great guy this is, who's now instructing in the Norfolk Parks and Recreations. He's down at Fairlawn Farm. He has taken initiative to help train young men, little boys from the ages 3 to 13, how to be play football. And not only that, they got girls out there being cheerleaders. They're learning it too. Then we got Mr. Sean Cunningham who will be with us. Miss Rhonda Driver will be our special guest. Gabriel Picnic.
Gabrielle Bree, you all know Gabrielle Bree Pickney
will be our special guest. Miss Deborah Harris will be with us also. I mean, you don't want to miss this great lineup that we do have, where we bring you nothing but the very best.
Absolutely, we have some great folk coming on, great topics. A little bit later, Mr. E is going to tell you how you can be a special guest sponsor or intern with FYI Radio Show, and we're really excited. We're excited because we are not only with WGPL 1350, WPCE, but we've added 95.3 FM, soon to have Joy 88.9 FM, and we have the social media platforms. Now, we need for you all to make sure you follow us, like, subscribe, because we want to get on some of the other platforms like Instagram and TikTok, but we need the numbers. And so if you go to our pages, FYI Radio Show on Instagram, Yolanda Hinton's page or Edward Everett's page on Instagram, make sure you follow us. We can build those platforms and we can go live. And go to TikTok. You can Google us there and go to Yolanda Hinton's and Pastor Ed's page. And give us the numbers so we can bring some of this great information and these wonderful guests over on those platforms.
That's right. I want to say welcome back, Miss Mardell Lewis. And Miss Mardell Lewis was in the hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And we welcome her back, back in the saddle again. They can't keep a good girl down.
I'm telling you.
I mean, they might try to keep Mardell down, but you can't keep a good girl down. And then I want to take the time out to wish my oldest brother, Pastor Clarence Everett Jr., a happy birthday.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, Clarence. And thank you all so much for what you do. Mr. E, we got to serve a little bit of tea before we give our information and everything.
But before we serve the tea, Miss Hinton, let's show them this beautiful cups that we have.
This is our first edition because we're going to do some other things to really make it really nice. But can you see that? We serving, let me get it in the camera right. Serving that tea. We're serving that tea on FYI Radio Show. And so we're very excited about that. You all can actually get a cup to serve that tea on our Fridays, our fun Fridays. And we're going to just make them available. And we will give some away to some of our viewers.
Yes.
We'll make sure you get ones to some of our viewers that have just been with us for quite some time. And we just thank the Lord for just giving us that cute little idea. But Mr. E, I hate to serve this. And this is still a new tea. Look, this is a new tea bag. We're not going to put no old tea bag.
In a new cup.
But the story is getting old, if you ask me. But Mr. E, we got some information about some things that are going on in the Portsmouth area.
What are you talking about, Miss Hinton? In the Portsmouth, there's some stuff going on in P-Town.
And look, I didn't go look for it. It just came up there. I just saw it where there's still a lot of cutting up going on in Portsmouth.
And we just had a guest that was from P-Town who's now in the ATL. Mr. V.T.
Mr. Vanderbilt
Sykes, who was our special guest. Miss Hinton, the more I hear about P-Town, the more I'm a little afraid to even go through there.
First of all, before Mr. E gives you the tea on the Portsmouth Council, we're going to give you some information from a story that was on this morning. And there has been... Someone has broken out of Portsmouth City Jail. And they are warning, they're giving a real warning of you all being very, very careful. This is a dangerous individual now.
Say that again.
He's very dangerous.
Is he very dangerous?
Mr. D. Jones, his name is Devon, I think, Jones. And he has walked out some kind of way, escaped some kind of way, but they're telling you all to make sure, and this is the serious part, serious part. Make sure you lock your doors. Make sure you have people that they say walk behind you, or make sure your grandmas and your the elderly are safe. Say he's a dangerous person.
Miss Hinton, as they begin to talk about this guy that's in there, I often wonder, how did the guy get out of jail?
He might have gone through the laundry bag. You know, he was in the laundry. You know, the things they push, the laundry cart. He might have been in there. He might have been.
Let me have a sip of that, because I want to give you the
He
tea
might
on this fellow.
Tell us. Let's hear the scoop.
The inmate wanted for escaping from the Portsmouth City Jail, and the Portsmouth Sheriff Office said 36-year-old Devon
Jones, isn't it?
Devon Jones, considered dangerous.
Highly dangerous. He has strangled a person or two. That's what they said. Go ahead.
They said Mr. Devon is dangerous, escaped from both lines. The sheriff office and the Portland police are searching for this 36-year-old. Officials said the search won't end until he's taken back into custody. I don't know why my news keep jumping out of the way. Until he's taken back into custody. And so now and then they tell you that you got to be careful.
They sure did.
They said, according to the online substance, Jones previously been arrested on various charges, some of which include malicious wounding, abduction, and strangulation. So Jones is 5'11" and around 215 pounds. He has a tattoo on the left side of his neck. Officials said he's considered dangerous.
D. Jones, turn yourself in, because they sure gonna get you. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Because listen to this, Mr. E. You got too much social media. You got too many cameras. You got too many people that's gonna tell the tea. D. Jones going back in jail.
Go on, turn yourself in.
Your time.
And
that's a little bit of tea for Portland.
Before they shoot you.
Absolutely. So be careful. Be careful out there,
you.
folk. They say he's highly dangerous. He believes in strangling folk. And we don't want nobody hurt because he's trying to jack somebody's car up or running somebody's house. Devon, D. Jones, go back to jail.
Go back. Go. On key, because you come in my neighborhood.
Mr. E, I need to serve some tea on.
No, you don't. I don't want to go to that. I just want to give a recap on what we're getting ready to talk about. Miss Hinton, I just don't understand Portsmouth and and the councilmen's over there. I just don't understand it.
What's going on?
You know, the chief magistrate declined to file criminal charges against two of Portsmouth councilmen as requested by the mayor. The mayor went to the magistrate's office and he wanted to file charges against two of Mayor Shannon Glover. He went to criminal charges against two of Portsmouth city councilmen, but the local manager causes according to the document. This is no hidden intents amongst Portland's city council leaders to find the former city manager, Angela Jones, firing of the former city manager, Angie Jones, in May. And the council majority votes were 4-3. They just took liberty and just decided that they want to do. And I just want you to know, Miss Hinton, that the two people that he tried to file charges on was Dr. Mark Whitaker was one of the ones, and Mr. D'Angelo, the vice mayor. The vice mayor and the councilman that the mayor filed charges against D'Angelo Barnes and Dr. Mark Whitaker.
Well, Mr. Mayor, you're going to have to go find some dirt that's going to stick, because that didn't stick. They could not file charges. This is what I think, and this is what I suggest. You all just go home because it's no need to be so, divided among you. How in the world are you going to decide for the council for Portsmouth? How are you going to get the job done with so much Trump?
Well, here's the thing that gets me so much about what's going on and why Glover decided to allegedly to file charges. Glover allegedly Whitaker interfered with negotiating the results in $1 million of taxpayers' money being set aside for the Office of Minority and Women Business Entrepreneur Pilot Program. The complaint reads
Yes.
that Mark Whitaker and D'Angelo Barnes, they had their hands tied up in the cookie jar. Now, who stole the cookie out the cookie jar?
Let me have a disclaimer. This is like, look, we're making sure we, just give you the tea that we see. This is not made up. I'm not going to make up nothing.
Well, it's in the paper. It's in the paper. It's in the paper today. It's on Pilot Online. And if you want to see the news clipping, I have it in my hand. That it's in the paper that it was written. It was a written complaint. Glover Arga Barnes had organized that received a financial benefits from service by the city government, and Glover said violated the city rules. Glover argued that the allegedly action violated the city provision that called for misdemeanor charges to remove a council person from his or her elected position.
Well,
it's some shady business going on in Portland. Portland is not that big.
Well, leaders, you need to get it together. And why do they keep showing Miss Burke up there? That story is over. Y'all got us still cussing and making it look so bad for the sister.
Well,
up there cutting up in the school Portsmouth council meeting. Y'all stop putting Miss Burke up there and let's go ahead with the story. And see where it ends. Now, the school board said stop putting them in it. They don't have nothing to do with crookdom.
Well, you got to remember, Ms. Hinton, she made a legitimate point. She brought the news to us. She brought the tea out. She said that there were some dishonest councilmen sitting right there in the council. And Glover didn't know anything about what they was getting ready to do. And so the deal took place in the man's church.
Wow.
Why shouldn't they do it at the hall, the council hall, where they bring everybody in? When did they vote? And Councilman Mayor Shannon and Miss Gray, they act like they didn't even know it was a vote going on.
Well, the crazy thing about it, they brought back a lady that they had fired
3 years ago. I mean, why bring back the old lady? Because she know how to hide the paperwork.
Allegedly, Mr. E. We don't know what she knows.
Miss Angela Jones done discovered some stuff.
I'm talking about they have a new one now that has replaced her. And we're going to see how this all pans out. But Portsmouth, please get it together. You got people that are looking.
I got somebody coming to Portsmouth, Miss Hinton.
What's that?
He's a personal friend of mine, and he's going to come and turn Portsmouth out. He's going to come
and clean it up. He's going to do like Jesus did in the temple. He's going to clean up shop.
He's going to come and turn the shop over. So y'all might as well get ready because he's on his way.
Well, what do you all think? Should they just pack up and go home, get a new group of folk? Because you're talking about leadership, and it's just a terrible thing when the leadership is allegedly criminal.
Well, that's
and accusing each other of being crookdoms.
Crooks. When you become a leader in Portland, you got crookdom.
Allegedly.
I'm still trying to figure out. Here's something that I want to throw up in the air. I'm trying to figure out how Academy Park used to belong to Portsmouth.
We're gonna blank this E out on that. But anyway, look, we're gonna keep the story going. It's getting old, but I'm saying hopefully after a while. Portsmouth leadership will get better. We shall see.
There's some stink over there.
We shall see. It's a terrible thing that the leadership is going
men breaking out of jail.
It's a shame that the story of Portsmouth councilmen and women are going hand in hand with the man that just got out of Escape. They were back to back, those two stores. I'm like, oh, Portsmouth.
Portsmouth, y'all got a lot of stuff going
I
on
used to
with you.
live in Portsmouth. I can talk about it. But I'm just saying we have high hopes for Portsmouth, and that's a little bit of tea for you.
They
But
got
look, there's some entertainment tea. Beyonce has come out with a new song after
Okay.
a few years. Now the word on the street is that some of them are liking it. It feels like an old school dance. You know how the Pride. You know this is Pride Month. It's like a Pride song. Like a pride anthem or something like that. That's the feel of it. Like you're in the club back in the day, what's that? Voguing and whatnot. It has that feel to it. Some people love it. Some people hate it. Some people said that what you call was a hypocrite because in the song it talks about leave your 9 to 5. And Beyonce, you ain't got no 9 to 5, baby. You rich as I don't know what, baby. You ain't leaving no 9 to 5. But some people are saying that Beyonce is telling them to leave their 9 to 5 and go on and do your thing. Well, I tell you what, we're
Well,
going to see how many people going to listen to that.
She sounds like Dolly Parton.
Well, Dolly said the same
Dolly
thing.
Parton said, I worked a 9 to 5.
Well, maybe she did one day because she's rich too.
Yeah.
But anyway, it has a wonderful beat to it. The lyrics are all right to me, but I love the beat. If you want to get in the club and the Vogue and throw them legs up and show your pride, it's a good one. I don't know. What do you all think? Have you heard it? Are you into that type of music, that style of music? Everybody love Beyonce, of course. But like I said, some people have mixed reviews on it. They feel like she could do a little bit better lyric wise, and they just feel like it's not the Beyonce that they really want to hear. Then others are saying this is it. She hit it on the head. It's going. I don't know the numbers, but we're gonna find out the numbers of if it's selling well. Well, it's going to be released in July, but she just gave us, she gave us some tea. She just threw it out there a little and say, "Hey, what y'all think about this?"
Well, I want to let everybody know also that if you want to be in the city council in Virginia Beach,
we back to that.
They got a slot open.
Ooh.
Virginia Beach has a slot open. Councilman Lewis Jones, who represents Bayside District, he passed away. So if there's anybody out in Bayside that wants to run for, office,
yes,
going out there.
Well, I tell you what, so we're sipping that tea this morning. We got a little bit of tea. Mr. E, have you heard the song yet? Beyonce song?
No, I haven't heard Beyonce's song yet.
Well, anyway, it'll be out in July if you all are interested in getting that music. It'll be out there for you, and a whole album. She worked 2.5 years on this music. And she's the queen. She's the queen bee. She's the queen bee. But anyway, if you have any tea for us, you want to serve that tea, we can actually pull you in and you can serve that tea to our viewers. If you like, we got some other folk that's getting ready to give us some good tea. There's some other things going on, but some of the tea that comes out, it may not be appropriate,
That's right.
But we're trying to do the best we can and giving you a little bit of this and a little bit of that. If if you're not following social media, or if you're not looking at the news that much, we're trying to serve the tea that's out there for you. But like I said, if you want to be a serving that tea agent, come on and join our group. Mr. E's gonna tell you how you can be a special guest, sponsor, intern, or how you can help us serve that tea.
Just before we go there, the city of Norfolk is bringing back the Norfolk Nighthawk. It's a summer program for young adults. So if you don't have anything else to do, the Norfolk Nighthawk is coming back, basketball teams where you can play summer programs, summer basketball, and they shut it down because of the virus. So now they're going to start that back up. So if you know anything about the Norfolk Nighthawk, and you want to be a part, go and be a part.
Absolutely. But don't forget the ladies' pies. We still have, you can order, you can go online. Pies and cookies and things. Also, the book is out. The book, Bullying is Right Underneath Your Nose, that is out. And the Spanish version is finished.
And the website. Tell them about the website.
You can go to crystalrecords.com. You can actually order the book from there. And if you're interested in having one of our serving that tea, you can email us through our website and see, get your little cuppy cup. We will be giving some of these away and ordering another edition as well. But these right here for some of our friends that's on with us. We'll provide that for them. But Crystal Records, CRISTO Records with an S.
And don't
.com,
okay.
and you can kind of check out what we're doing. We're going to be adding more information, especially with our programs for our nonprofit organization, Crystal Community Development Corporation. And you'll see a little bit about Crystal Records and what we're doing. Also, FYI Radio Show, you'll be able to go to our links and you'll see us live through the website. And we'll have more information for you. You can buy the music online there, and we'll have other merchandise up there for you all to go through our website and do that. So, Mr. E, what's the tea?
If you'd like to be a special guest or sponsor a FYI Radio Show, all you have to do is go to FYI Radio Show inboxes on Facebook, or Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, and inboxes, or whatever Facebook page and inboxes. If you'd like to get cups and books, and just give us a call at 757-714-7861 or 757-4
700224.
Say that again.
757-470-0224.
And that's where you can contact if you want ladies' pies, cupcakes. That's the number to dial. And don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Listen, we got great special guests coming your way. If you want that tea, I know some of y'all want y'all coffee cups today. And not only that, pretty soon we will have our own FYI Radio tea bag. So you can serve some tea with us, okay? Don't forget to join us right here on WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350, 88.9, 95.3. Wow. We have moved up. We got so many places that we have moved that I'm stumbling over my words. Let me go back. You can catch us on the World Wide Web by going to WPCE 1400, WGPL 1350. You can catch us on 95.3 FM. You can catch us on 88.9 WPCE on radio, WGPL on radio, and on all social media platforms.
Absolutely. We look forward to hearing from you all. We want you to have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. The weather's going to be absolutely marvelous. And we're going to see you back here for Sports Talk on Monday.
With Coach Sporty.
With Coach Sporty, we'll be here. So make sure you tell someone about our show. Make sure you follow us on social media. Make sure you get our books, music, and all the tea that we're serving. Serving
that tea.
And you all just continue to be a blessing. Thank you so much for your support, and we'll see you back here on Monday.
Bye. Have a wonderful day. 2 up.